A young woman lives alone in her childhood home. She experiences a bad and scary incident. She experienced a robbery in her house. The problem is that the robbery was not carried out by humans, but by something else. At the beginning of the film, there is a young woman named Bryn. She lives alone in the house. The house belongs to her parents who are now deceased. Bryn has just bathed and dressed up to welcome the bright day. Bryn can sew. She makes clothes ordered by people with great care and of course love. After finishing, she wraps them and is ready to be sent to the customer. Besides being able to sew clothes, Bryn is also very careful with her work, including if there is grass that is not exposed to water. She will know, but the shape is quite unique, similar to a circle but broken. After watering, Bryn walks using her car to the city. There are not many neighbors, there is only one, but her neighbor looks indifferent and doesn't seem to get along with her. After arriving in the city, Bryn immediately puts the clothes package in the post. Then she goes to her mother's grave, which is located in the city. There are many memories that she can't forget with her mother, but now she can only pray for her. Bryn decided to go back home before dark. She met many people at the grave while raising their hands while greeting them. But for some reason it seemed like no one liked Bryn. What happened actually? When she arrived at the car, she saw a married couple talking romantically. But Bryn hid from them. What do you think happened to her? Did Bryn have a problem with them? When she arrived home, Bryn wrote a note addressed to someone named Maud. She said that Bryn saw her parents earlier. That means the married couple were Maud's parents. But why did Bryn write that note to Maud? Not long after, a postman brought the package that Bryn had been waiting for. The package contained a miniature school, then he put the miniature together with other miniature buildings. Accompanied by music, Bryn looked happy at that time. Even though she didn't have friends, Bryn was quite enjoying her situation. Again, she wrote a note to Maud, and it turned out that Maud was her best friend. There was a photo of Bryn and Maud when they were little. The night was coming, and it was time for Bryn to sleep, but here strange things started to happen in her house. The lights suddenly went out. Bryn woke up because she heard a noise from outside the house. Maybe it was just a squirrel looking for food in the trash. Bryn tried to go down and see the conditions around, but at that time she saw the front door was open, even though the door was locked. It turned out that something had entered her house. It was tall and thin and occasionally made a sound. Bryn stepped back slowly so as not to make a noise. She even took off her sandals to keep quiet. Then suddenly the creature seemed to turn towards Bryn. Bryn rushed into her room because the creature started to climb up. Even though it was locked, the alien-like creature could still get in. Bryn hid under the bed so as not to be caught. The alien had quite strange feet and tried to get out of the window. Bryn hurriedly closed the window and went down to close the door. She thought the alien had left, but it turned out not to be. The lights in Bryn's house went wild as if controlled by the alien. Bryn disconnected the electricity so that the alien could not control it anymore. Bryn tried to call the police for help, but everything in the house could not function properly. Bryn hid near the refrigerator, but her location was discovered. Bryn tried to escape, but she fell because the flying door hit her. She was still able to survive and tried to get away, but the alien pulled her using his strength until Bryn accidentally killed the alien with the miniature fragments she was holding. When morning came, she thought it was just a dream, but it turned out to be real. Bryn covered the alien with a cloth. Then she tried to call the police, but unfortunately the electricity in her house went out. Luckily, the water was still flowing normally. Even her car couldn't be used. Bryn took a shower and tidied herself up. She closed the door with the sofa, then she went to town by bicycle. In the middle of the road, she saw a postal car upside down, but there was no driver. Not only that, even her neighbor's house was in disarray as if it had been attacked by aliens. And what was even more astonishing was that there were traces of the same circle marks as in her yard at that time. So it turned out that it was a sign made by aliens. Maybe the mark came from a UFO that brought aliens up and down. Bryn rushed to town, but she was seen by many people until she became uncomfortable. Bryn dared to enter the police station and she met Maud's parents. Immediately, they were both silent. Then Maud's mother spat right in Bryn's face. Who knows what happened? It seemed like Bryn did something wrong or something, or maybe there was a dark past between them. Even the other police didn't dare look at Bryn, who had been spat on. Bryn decided to leave the city by bus. She wore a hat and glasses so that people wouldn't see her. But when she was on the bus, there was a man who looked like a postman approached her. Then the postman acted strangely as if something was wrong. Bryn was scared and tried to run away. Even the postman was not alone, he had a friend. Luckily, the bus driver stopped the bus suddenly, so the postman fell, but he got back up horribly. Bryn got off the bus running away from him. Bryn tried to take shelter by entering the church and cemetery area, but unfortunately the church was locked and she couldn't get in. Bryn walked to the cemetery and there was the name Maud. So it turned out Maud had died a long time ago, but what does it have to do with Bryn? Soon the sky darkened and thick black clouds appeared. Bryn ran towards the house to take shelter. In the middle of the road, she saw many people gathered looking at the sky while raising one of their hands up. Then they turned to stare at Bryn until Bryn was scared. Bryn returned home and smelled the stench of the alien's corpse. It seemed like there was fluid coming out of his body. Here Bryn was really panicked and confused about what to do, but she had to calm down and start preparing everything, including covering the window with cloth and nails. But suddenly the nails came off by themselves. Then there was a very bright blue light coming through the front door. The blue light seemed to come from an alien aircraft that wanted to take the alien's body. After that, Bryn rushed into the basement to hide along with the appearance of a small alien from above. Bryn actually wanted to get out through the basement door, but the blue light appeared again and an alien entered there. Bryn had to be careful and hide, but she was caught. In the end, she faced the alien until the alien saw a photo of Bryn and Maud when they were children. When the alien was off guard, Bryn ran upstairs, but there she was again, faced with the small alien. Bryn fought him by pouring hot water that she had prepared, but it didn't seem to work. Bryn's hand was hit by the blue light. When it hit her, she became paralyzed and couldn't move. Bryn entered the room, but the small alien continued to chase until this time Bryn was annoyed and finished him off by stabbing him with a broken mop stick and hitting his head with the cupboard door. The problem didn't stop there. When she was outside, the postman caught her and pulled her into the alien ship. However, Bryn managed to escape. The postman seemed to be controlled by the alien. In the end, Bryn was chased by another, more vicious alien. Once again, Bryn was able to finish him off using her car. Bryn returned home before the blue light hit her. When she was in the room, an alien managed to enter her room. Bryn hid, waiting for the right moment to hit her. But the alien knew where Bryn was and threw her away. This time, Bryn was hit by a red light. She couldn't do anything. Her body seemed to freeze. Only her eyes could move to look around. The alien came to her and released some kind of living seed and then put it in her mouth. Maybe that's what they do to people so that the alien can control them. Bryn screamed and woke up. Was it just a dream? Bryn went downstairs to see her miniatures still neatly arranged. She also saw Maud there starting to approach Bryn. Bryn was very happy to meet her friend. Suddenly, Maud screamed until Bryn took the alien seed out of her mouth. It turned out it wasn't a dream. Bryn was still facing problems with the alien. After successfully removing the seed, Bryn escaped from there, but she met a large alien again and was caught by an alien ship. Bryn was lifted into the ship, where many aliens approached her and started touching her head. Bryn was brought back to her dark past, especially about Maud. They used to be best friends. But one day they were angry and Maud pushed Bryn to the ground. Bryn, who was upset, then took a rock and hit Maud's head to death. It was the biggest regret in Bryn's life. If only it could be prevented and changed, but everything had happened. Since then, Bryn has been a loner and has no friends. The aliens felt sorry for Bryn. They returned Bryn while giving her a second chance to improve her social relationships. Bryn is now more confident and many people are starting to accept her, even though these people are still controlled by aliens. At least Bryn now doesn't feel alone anymore and lives a colorful life,